It is Friday evening. We have closed our house, and Maru is about to get ready for bed. He has been hanging out in this corner. This is like our Christmas corner here. You can see the holiday lights, the check-in booth for our guests here at our house. And Maru right now is chilling. He's doing okay, but at any second he could really start to huff and puff, basically hyperventilate, because his oxygen levels are too low right now. That's because he's having an issue with anemia and his red blood cell count. Not only the count, but the quality of the red blood cells is not normal, so they're basically an abnormal size and they have abnormal hemoglobin count, which basically means that he can't have as much oxygen in his red blood cells, which means that in order to breathe and to do any activity, he has to do a lot of huffing and puffing, trying to get more air. It's basically like someone with asthma trying to just do regular activities, needing to have an inhaler. And so we have two ways that we're giving him oxygen right now. One is through this. It's not a air freshener. It's an handheld oxygen dispenser. So what we do when he does start to breathe heavily is that we will give him 2 seconds of this air, and then we will hold it on his nose for about 5 seconds so he can really breathe in all of the oxygen, so that he can function and reduce his high rate of breathing and his huffing and puffing. The second one is actually with a full oxygen tank. You can see that we have actually attached it to the banister of the stairwell behind here. It's got a larger spout here, and this is 100% oxygen from this tank. So this is when he is having a longer bout of the heavy breathing. We will use this, and we set this to a certain parameter so he's getting the right amount of oxygen. And we will do it with his nose like this, give him some seconds to breathe that in, and then take that off once he stops the heavy breathing. So right now he's doing okay, probably because we're closed. There's not any activity. Actually, if you look around, you can see all the other dogs. You can change the camera. You can see all the other dogs are heading for bed. This is a normal evening at our house where you can see that there's actually like 20 dogs around us right now. They're all very chilled out. Maru's actually the only one who's sitting up and still awake because he knows that this is not where he's sleeping tonight. So we've turned off most of the lights. We're going to take Maru upstairs. So to be able to rest and to be able to have the full focus, he's going to stay upstairs in one of our spare rooms. The goal of having one aspect of this house is that we've got a very large area downstairs, and we have a couple of rooms where we can separate and take care of the dogs for special cases exactly like this. So this is actually mostly a storage room, so it's actually pretty messy up there. But we have a couple of cots that we bring out if we need to stay over or whatever it may be. So that's what we've got set up right now, is that I've got a cot set up there. Maru will sleep like literally right beside me. When we take him up, we have to be careful because if we put too much pressure on his chest cavity, it can put more pressure on his lungs. Right now he's really having to rely a lot on his diaphragm to move up the air and be able to breathe normally, or as normally as possible. Maru's about 25 kilos, so about more than 55 pounds. But he's pretty comfortable. He's wagging his tail. He's not in a bad mood. He just is probably not feeling totally normal. So I'll try to be as gentle as I can. We've got to go up a flight of stairs, and then we'll let him rest again. So when we take him, we go under the chest, but really under the armpits. So you can see that we go under the armpit, and we're going to grab him on his bicep, his left bicep here first, and then go under his waist here, basically in the groin area, and then under the leg. And then I'm going to lift with my legs, not my back, so I also don't get hurt. And usually he's pretty good, so let's see how he does tonight. 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to take him up here. Got one pup here sitting on the stairs. This is kind of his safe zone to rest. That's Soda, so he stays there all the time. And one barking dog, that's Hot Boy. He's not barking at Maru, he's actually barking at me. And then we've got our room right here, so let's use my back. Okay. Alright. So like I said, this is actually like a spare storage room for us upstairs. There's 2 dogs that are staying here, and Maru knows these dogs very well. They stay with us a lot. They're not our dogs, but Khaleesi here was adopted from us. The good news is that Maru right now is not doing any heavy breathing. You can hear he's got a little bit that he's starting to breathe a little heavier, but not as much as usual. So what this means is that the medicine is seemingly working, and he's getting better. So right here, thank you. And so this one will be ready whenever he needs it. Last night and the night before, it was just 2 times for about 5 or 10 minutes each. And then he got back to normal, so hopefully we'll have the same situation tonight, if not better. As we tune out tonight, we got Maru here, Khaleesi here, Kinsey in the bag here. Kinsey. I'm taking a rest right here. A little red velvet cot of hopeful comfort and solitude. Good night, guys.
So it's 1:30 in the morning. Maru has started doing his cough again. Let's see if we can calm him down first. More quickly, more effectively. These midnight sessions are a little tougher because sometimes you're in a bit of deep sleep, and so it's difficult to wake up or be woken up sometimes. It can even be easy if you're just one person to fall back to sleep for a few seconds. I try to bring the support and the setup in the way that is most helpful, most sustainable, most realistic for us as well. And he seems to have finished up here. It's really difficult for me if I'm gonna get up at this time, but I gotta do what I have to do. I don't get that much sleep, so if I'm in deep sleep, especially level 4, then getting woken up for that is really inconvenient. But we do what we need to do to be able to take Maru, give him the better life that he needs. So this is actually round 3 for tonight. And we went through a full bottle overnight. So at about 11:30, 1:30, and now 4:30, Maru is still having his attacks. So more intense than the night before. You can hear it's almost like a hunk right now. So working to adjust that. Again, this one is brand new, I just opened it. And I'm starting to have a superstition that the new bottle is so much more effective than the old. When it gets down to 25 or 50% or less, I think it really is very less saturated. Because every time you use one of these new bottles, 1 or 2 times he's back to normal. And when we use a bottle that's been used for 10 or so sprays, it doesn't seem to do as much as fast. So maybe that's just superstition, maybe that's actually a reality of what's happened here, but the good thing is that he has begun to rest again. But it's 4:40, so the dogs will actually get up pretty soon. The dogs at our house get up at around 4:45, and they are going to be up in full at 5 o'clock. So our guard lift's not at 5. We'll go down about 6. We don't need to rush down. We need to prioritize his rest and prioritize making sure that he's not overexerting without the attention and constant supervision that we need to give him. So our team is here at 6 a.m. 1 or 2 people depending on the day. But I will stay with him until at least 6 and maybe after. So that we can make sure that his situation is monitored and handled as much as possible. Before I sign off, it's been I would say it's about a 5 out of 10 night for him. Yesterday was a 6, maybe even a 7, because we only had 2 episodes. So this is actually a bit of a regression after the day was better. So that can happen. We want to keep track of how many times he is having these episodes at night, and then about how long it takes to get them dressed. So for us tonight, it was about 3 episodes, and a total of more than 40 minutes to address them. So that's not great, but it's better than a sleepless night, although it was relatively close to it. So it's Saturday, it's the 23rd of December, so we expect a busy day at our house on the holiday weekend, and we'll report back and let you know how Maru is doing. Hey guys, so it's Saturday morning, the 23rd of December. We're about to start our holiday weekend at our house, Maru had a okay night last night. He woke up about 3 or 4 times and did some huffing and puffing. He had one time where he didn't need any immediate attention. It was just about 10 or 15 seconds. So by the time I was able to get up and get everything ready, he was already finished. The other times he was doing it for about 5 to 10 minutes. This was at about 11:30, 1:30, 3:30, and then 4:30 again. So it was actually a more challenged night for him than the night before, Thursday night. So we'll see how he does today. We'll be having more team on duty so that we can monitor him better, and also because we've got a lot going on for the holidays, so that's exciting. But we have to make sure to prioritize his care. So we'll always have one dog care team member who is observing him and nearby him. So we have a new station for our operations, which will be next to him. That way we can administer his support as fast as we need to. So let's see how the weekend goes. Hopefully it can be a recovery weekend for him, and we should be getting our machine in that we ordered that will be able to supply more continuous oxygen, extracting it from the air without having to have continuous investment in smaller resources or in larger oxygen tanks. So although this is a lower concentration, it's a more steady flow and it's a more sustainable solution for us. So that should be coming in this weekend. Hopefully we can get that set up and show you guys how that works as well.